When I was 19 years old, I bit into a Big Mac burger, and to my complete surprise, instead of a burger patty in there, there was someone's sliced off dingling in there. And after multiple days of investigation, the police found out that one of the workers at the McDonald's burger factory had a stroke while working and confused cow meat with his own dingling meat and subsequently bled to death. But apparently that's not the only fast food death. The most painful fast food deaths ever by a talking hat.
Raise the roof. It was just another Saturday night in Harriman, Utah, a quiet suburb 30 minutes outside Salt Lake City. At a local Domino's, orders were taken, pizzas were baked, and both customers and employees alike conversed with each other.
Since I'm closing tonight, can I get the ox?
No.
Bro, please.
No.
Please.
No! Stop asking me. Just shut up and make pizzas.
Bro, me personally, if I was this guy and I had to work with this type of dude, I would, in GTA, I would grab him by the neck and in GTA, may or may not throw him into the meat grinder. And then he would end up in this video. I guarantee that is what happens. The manager gets so fed up with the employee that he just throws him into the meat grinder.
My ox is so good, man. Just look. I got Lil Poomp, 6ix9ine, Diddy, and Bebopa. Bebopa? Bedoa Budi. I also got Miles, man. Just please, dude. I want to be on Ox.
Shut up! Your taste sucks. That's why your girl left you.
Jesus Christ, you didn't have to bring that up. I mean, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I can sort of tell his girl may or may not have left him. Especially when you have P. Diddy on your playlist for the Huzz. Is this a playlist you listen to, like, as you are diddling the Huzz?
However, amidst all the friendly banter, an SUV tangled in a 3-car accident would veer off its course and smash directly into the Domino's pizza. And as if the crash itself wasn't bad enough, it would also rupture a hidden gas line underneath the building. Within seconds, fire erupted. Bystanders watched in shock as flames consumed the vehicle. Inside, 2 people were trapped. That's when 2 courageous strangers risked their lives, pulling the driver and passenger out just minutes before the SUV was swallowed by the fire. As firefighters rushed in, trying to control the blaze, the building exploded. The blast tore apart the Domino's, sending debris flying into the night sky and causing significant damage to the businesses next door, a Jimmy John's and a Supercuts. Miraculously, nobody was injured and everybody survived.
What? Huh? The entire building exploded. Miraculously, no one was injured? No, he 100% is joking. He has to be joking. 100% this is one of his jokes.
Even the firefighters standing near the restaurant when it exploded managed to walk away unharmed.
No.
The Domino's, however, was reduced to rubble. What had been a neighborhood pizza joint became the epicenter of one of Harriman's most destructive accidents.
Wait, he wasn't joking. He actually wasn't joking. No injuries at all, and this is what the building looks like. It exploded so violently that there is no roof, no anything. The building's gone. It's just been deleted. So you're telling me no one got trapped under there? No one got hit by a random sheet of metal and just decapitated? What in the Disney movie plot armor was this? The Domino's building literally collapsed like a domino. That's not funny.
The Mayo incident. It was supposed to be just another quiet evening shift at a Subway near downtown Atlanta. The kind of Sunday where the streets slow down and customers trickle in for a late night sandwich.
Customers trickle in for a late night sandwich, aka the homeless people, the DRUGS dealers, just all the criminals. And if you're working at a fast food place at this time at night, yeah, this is definitely not the situation you want to be in. So I assume one of them unalives the fast food worker.
Inside, 2 young employees were working, doing their jobs, making food, and chatting with regulars. As the customers sat down to enjoy their food, the door smashed open and a very odd-looking man walked up to the counter to order a sandwich. What happened next would quickly turn everybody's night into a complete nightmare. With what seemed like an insignificant and easily resolvable issue, tensions began to rise. The disagreement, which could have ended with a simple solution, instead festered, and the customer's anger built up until it boiled over. Words turned into threats. Threats turned into physical exclamations. And before you knew it, the psychopath pulled out a weapon. In seconds, before anyone could react, fate was already sealed. The 26-year-old woman immediately collapsed behind the counter, unfortunately unresponsive.
See, that's the thing. If you work at a fast food restaurant, if possible, avoid the super late night shifts because, bro, what type of people do you think come out late at night? Do you think the doctors, lawyers, dentists, police officers, firemen, they come to a Subway at 1 a.m. in the morning? No, of course not. The only people rocking up at the Subway at 1 a.m. in the morning are gonna be the criminals and all the dodgy people. But I guess sometimes you don't really get a choice with shifts and stuff. I've never worked in fast food. Is that you don't get to choose your shifts, do you?
And her 24-year-old co-worker was also terribly struck, but they somehow clung to life. To make it worse, the victim's son was inside the store
Ooh.
and witnessed all the horror unfold.
Jesus Christ, it was a bring your son to work day, and the one day the Subway worker brought her son to work, he witnessed her get unalived. What a memorable bring your son to work day. That is horrible.
Police later arrested the suspect, a 36-year-old man who lived just across the street. He was charged with multiple felonies and later booked that same night. Investigators said the entire incident started simply because he thought there was too much mayo on his sandwich.
Bro, you're gonna shoot another human being and get life in prison all because of mayo? There was too much mayo? Like, bro, it's just mayo. Unless you have like an egg allergy or something, or unless you suspect that the employee, put their own homemade mayo onto the Subway, if you know what I'm saying. But even then, bro, that's just extra flavor, low-key. But also, you can just restart the Subway thing, because like how much, bro, realistically, how much does it cost for Subway to make a Subway roll? Like the bread is probably like the cost price, you can get it from like a sweatshop in China for like 20 cents. Then the lettuce, that's like 10 cents. And so when you put everything together, it probably costs less than $1 for Subway to actually make it, like, even though they sell it for like, I don't know, like $10. And so they could have easily just gave him a new one and just restarted the thing. Like if he bit into it and there was too much mayo, like just make him a new one. Just avoid confrontation, especially at like 3 a.m. in the morning whenever this occurred. Actually, wait, no, it says 6:30 p.m. Wait, so it wasn't even that late at night? 6:30 p.m. That is a very normal time during the day.
Wild Wings. It was just after 5:30 p.m. at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Burlington, Massachusetts. The dinner rush was minutes away, and employees were scrambling to prep the floor, the food, and the restaurant. That's when a simple routine cleaning would escalate into a complete catastrophe. You see, earlier that day, a worker had to mop the kitchen floor with a standard acid-based cleaner. Just a little bit later, another worker followed up with more mopping to prepare for the upcoming dinner rush.
Oh.
The only issue was that he was using a chlorine bleach product.
Oh, and then it reacts, and then it just creates... Okay, that is... No. Are there no standard operating procedures in this place? Like, why? Okay, based on this guy's... Okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to get cancelled. But I mean, okay, just look at him. I'm not going to say anything.
The two chemical cleaners clearly state that they should never be mixed, and the employee had just begun mopping the entire floor, entirely mixing the two. On contact, the chemicals fused into a bubbling green explosion. They created a dangerous, foaming, toxic mixture that began pumping out lethal gas at high doses. The fumes spread instantly. Employees began coughing, their eyes burning, and their lungs felt like they caught on fire. One by one, people ran for the exit, but the floor was already slick with danger. That's when the manager of the building acted fast and grabbed a squeegee. He wasn't thinking about himself. He was only thinking about his team and his customers.
Damn, I respect the dedication towards your team and your customers, but at the same time, was this really necessary? Are you willing to die for buffalo wings? Like, just think about it. There are some jobs out there where it's like, you're willing to die for. Like, you're willing to die on duty as a police officer trying to save someone. But are you willing to die for buffalo wings? You're a manager at Buffalo Wings. No offense, of course, no offense. I feel like the solution could have been to just, open up all the windows and just get out. Just say, you gotta save yourself and make sure everyone else can get out of there as well. And then you can call like the fire brigade, and then they can have, like, they have the gas masks and everything. Like, they have the proper safety equipment. They can like clean it out for you.
He ran out to the floor and began pushing the toxic sludge toward a drain, trying to contain it before more people could get injured. But unfortunately, the fumes overwhelmed him. His chest tightened, his lungs burned, and within moments, he completely collapsed. Co-workers and bystanders tried desperately to get him outside, but the fumes were too strong. By the time they got to him, it was already too late. 13 people were hospitalized that day, and tragically, the only one who didn't make it out was the manager.
I mean, honestly, I appreciate the dedication. Like this manager, W manager, like in terms of like work and everything, like this is someone I would hire personally. Like, he's so dedicated that he's willing to sacrifice his life for the job. I mean, yeah, I feel like anyone would want to hire this guy. He's a good manager, but at the same time, like, where is the logic? Like, where is the logic? I feel like every manager needs to have logic as well. Like, he could have easily called the fire brigade. The fire brigade come in with like hoses and like gas masks and everything, and they just hose the entire place.
The McDonald's incident. It was the early hours of a Sunday morning in Lima, Peru. At a McDonald's in the Pueblo Libre district, the kitchen crew was wrapping up another long, grueling shift. A young 19-year-old woman and her 18-year-old boyfriend were finishing up that night.
Bro, why would you work with your partner at the same place in McDonald's? Like, okay, maybe they were working at McDonald's and then they became boyfriend and girlfriend. But if not, then like what must have happened is that they were dating and then the girlfriend got a job at McDonald's and then or maybe they like coordinated. They're just like, you know what, let's both apply to work at McDonald's together. It's kind of romantic, but at the same time, it's just like, to me, it just seems kind of like, why would you do that? If I had a girlfriend, I would not want to work at the exact same place as her.
The two had plans to attend college, and they were both saving up heavily to continue their studies. Unfortunately enough, this night would ensure that they didn't ever see that dream. According to police, the 19-year-old was cleaning a soda machine when it delivered a strong electric shock. Her body jolted violently, not being able to handle the voltage. Gabriel panicked. Desperate to save her, he quickly dropped what he was doing and rushed in to help.
No.
But the moment he touched her, the same current began surging through him too. Sadly, it immediately finished him. By the time emergency responders arrived, both of the employees were already done for.
But isn't it common knowledge to just not touch a live wire? Because as soon as she got electrocuted, she was technically a live wire. And so why would you touch the live wire? I'm pretty sure you need like rubber gloves or something if you want to touch it. But even then, like, bro, I don't think I would risk it even with rubber gloves. But she got the shock from only cleaning the vending machine. Like, bro, did she really rub it that fast that she generated that much static electricity that like shocked her?
Both of the employees were already done for. Reports surfaced that the 19-year-old had complained about being forced to clean equipment without proper gloves or boots, while also complaining of being pushed into 12-hour shifts without adequate safety gear.
But I guess they never sued. So that is quite sad. That would have been an easy case, bro. Even if I don't have any lawyer training, if you give me that case, I'll win that 100% of the time. Because they didn't even give her rubber boots, rubber gloves, rubber anything. That is such an easy case, bro. I will speed run that case and I will win it for them. I will win it for their family. I'll get, I think 10 mil will be sufficient enough for their family.
Tina's Burritos. It was just another night in Vernon, California, a strange industrial pocket just south of downtown Los Angeles. The kind of place with only a couple hundred residents, but sprawling with massive factories that keep the city supplied.
But you want to know what else is massive?
One of those factories is Tina's Burritos, a plant that's been churning out frozen burritos for over 40 years, producing nearly 1 million burritos per day. But on this night, the factory floor turned into the scene of a nightmare. At around 9 p.m., a 19-year-old custodian was tasked with tending to the plant's massive meat grinder. The contraption was full with burrito meat and was waiting to be cleaned. And so, as expected to by his job, he began climbing into the inside of the machine to clean it.
Bro, are you sure that's expected by his job? Or did he just like, he just went in there for the thrill of it? Is this guy some sort of like thrill seeker? What do you call the people that like climb all the way to the top of buildings and all that stuff? Is he one of those people? He's climbing into the meat grinder to clean it? Can't you just remove the blade before cleaning it? Because even when I'm cleaning a blender, I remove the blade, I chuck it like off the, like to the other side of the room. I chuck it out the window and then I clean the inside of it so that like even if it does activate, there's no blade for it to spin. And then once I'm done cleaning it, I go outside, pick it up from the ground, like out the window, and then I clean the...
In this case, the burrito meat grinding machine was not locked, nor was it secure. It's still unclear as to whether an item fell and caused the machine to turn on, or if an employee decided to try to make another batch of burrito meat. But, unfortunately, while the 19-year-old was inside of the machine cleaning out the meat, he would hear the industrial mechanism slowly power up and lock into place. The man panicked and shouted for the machine to be turned off, but his cries fell on deaf ears. Once fully turned on, the machine began grinding. His screams echoed across the factory, finally grasping the attention of workers who then rushed to stop the machine. But by the time it finally shut down, there was nothing anyone could do. Paramedics and firefighters arrived, but the scene was already unspeakable. The young man's fate was already sealed. Unfortunately, he was gone in a way too dreadful to describe. The plant shut down immediately.
But I mean, did they at least finish off the process and then wrap him up into a burrito? Okay, I'm sorry. That is horrible. I don't mean that. No offense. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I do not mean anything I say in these videos, okay? I'm sorry.
OSHA investigators arrived, and like similar tragedies before, first responders were faced with the grim task of recovering what was left of his... The process nearly took an hour for them to complete. Life wasn't always like this. There was a time where we didn't have a Whataburger or McDonald's, but rather just nuts, berries, and whatever else we could find to eat that day. Nowadays, you have access to places like these for a quick meal if you're in a rush. Fast food is extremely unhealthy, and you should never make it a habit to eat it. But if you do find yourself at one of the stores, have patience with the employees. It's a grueling industry to work in.
Damn, so I guess the moral of the story is to just not eat fast food ever. You know, because you know how, like, if you're a vegan, you choose to not eat meat so that they can sort of stop meat production in the farms. And so if I stop eating fast food, then we're gonna stop fast food production, all the fast food places will go out of business, and then no one will die from these fast food deaths. So let's all band together to stop
Eating fast food. Yeah.